What's up, everybody? We're live with the man. Do you want to do that chant that you did remember
Which
in
one?
JR stream
I
where
have a
you're like,
few chants, dude.
oh, where you went to
Oh! What's going on, everyone? Joel here. So excited to be on the live with the
yeah,
man, the myth,
yeah.
the legend, Daxie.
Dude,
What's up,
I'll
dude?
intro you. I'll intro you.
I
If you guys
know.
don't, if you guys don't know who Joel is, he's built and grown his own agency to 250K. But more impressive, he's teaching other people how to do the same, and you're getting a lot of people to multiple six figures. Like, what are some of the results you're getting for people right now?
I can say with full confidence, we are the fastest group to help our multiple students reach seven figures. So I think like Dan Henry has like 5 7-figure people. I already have 5 7-figure people, which is pretty insane. And I just launched it. So multiple six figures is kind of like a given. If you're not hitting multiple six figures, then you need to get out of my program. Um, but I'm being dead serious too, man. Like we have a group chat where everyone posts their wins as they're happening every day. And then I have my team members take screenshots and then upload it to my Instagram stories.
I see him
And
all
dude,
day.
it's like we get like 15 to 20 a day. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So
I'm just pulling up Facebook real quick so I can see the comments.
yeah, it's
If you
all
guys are
good.
on live, give me hashtag live. If you're on the replay, give me hashtag replay. If you're on the podcast, YouTube, you're going to want to listen to this because recently I was at your event with JR Revis called the Seven Figure Agency Mastermind event. I think that was what it was called.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of notes, by the way, when you spoke. Like I was looking at my OneNote, it was pages. And a lot of them were just ideas because when you say stuff, I'm like, I get epiphanies.
That's
But
awesome,
you
man.
you went over the 9 questions that you have to answer to that it will take to get to 250K a month. So what I'm kind of thinking is like we kind of just like run through them kind of super speed, and we can kind of riff on them, etc. But
Let's
firstly,
do it, man.
I want to ask first though, for people who don't know who you are, like going from 0 to 100K, like 100K to 250K, like what were the biggest failures that you had and how did you overcome them?
Damn, that's an amazing question, and we'll probably need hours for that. But
There's probably multiple. Yeah.
biggest failures was probably my lack of willingness to confront my inner demons, and I know that's kind of really intense and diving right in. I did the same thing on Josh Forty's podcast, which I know you're good friends with.
Dude,
But
I mean, I relate, bro. This morning I was listening to like an hour of David Goggins,
yeah,
Can't Hurt Me, and he's the same thing. Like you think it's all macho stuff, but it's not.
dude, I'm like, there were so many mindset things that I needed. I know everyone says, oh, the mindset, the mindset, the mindset. And then, yes, like you do need the tactics. Yes, you do need the strategies. But if the mindset is not right, the strategies, the tactics will mean nothing to you. And I needed to fix this thing up here before I could even scale. And what did that actually look like, for example? I mean, I didn't have nearly as much self-confidence compared to what I have now. So I think like willingness to step into the discomfort, willingness to put myself out there, willingness to just fail, willingness to just go for it. All that stuff was learned behavior over the past 2 years and scaling to 250K a month. And I didn't have that right when I started. So when you talk about biggest failures, I really think about like all the moments where I resisted stepping into trying to grow, all the moments when I resisted stepping into trying to evolve. Those probably led to my greatest failures. And I know that's kind of high level. So
Resistance, yeah. Steve Larson talks about it a lot. It's like your
resistance,
business only grows to the extent that you grow.
100%. So it's like, for example, I remember we brought on some interns at the very beginning, and I did not know how to manage them whatsoever. I had never managed people. And what I did is I would start blaming them instead of looking inwards and asking myself, what do I need to do to improve to be able to serve those interns? How do I need to grow? How do I need to improve not only as an entrepreneur, but also as a human being in order to serve my team? And I was not willing to ask those questions. So therefore, I kept hitting these walls, and that's the resistance. And I think that's where most of my failure starting out came from. So what I recommend for everyone to do is like every challenge that you get, every problem that you face, every doubt that comes up in here, reframe it and ask yourself, how can I see this as an opportunity for growth? And that question alone can do amazing wonders. And that question started to get me out of that pattern of resisting my own internal growth.
Yeah, I think a good example, if we had to paint out this scenario, guys, imagine your bank account. You have like $100,000 in your bank account, and then you look the next day and it's $50,000. So you lost $50,000.
That happened to me for sure.
Exactly. So recently you were hacked for $50,000, and I thought like how you did a video about it and what you learned from it and how you respond. I thought it was great. Like, what did that kind of teach you? And then did you get it back? I'm sure, right?
We've gotten back 42 out of the 50,000, so we're still about $8,000 in the red. But essentially, a Vietnamese e-commerce company found a way to log into my business manager and spend a lot of money on our credit cards. And I woke up to $50,000 being spent on our credit cards. And instead of freaking out, I asked myself, how can I use this as an opportunity for growth? How can I use this as an opportunity to improve, to be better, to level up as an entrepreneur? And then I said to myself, this is a great moment to just completely be chill and calm and emotionally detached when there's so much on the line. And when I say there's so much on the line, I mean $50,000 on the line. And I kid you not, by the end of the week, the problem started to get solved. We started to get the refunds back. I didn't emotionally react. I wasn't impulsive. I wasn't emotionally attached to the outcome of the situation. And I leveled up because now, next time I lose $50,000 or next time someone decides to sue me or I lose a bunch of clients or some really bad thing happens, I'm going to just stay totally calm because I know that I can do that. And before, when I was starting out and when I would have all these moments of failure, instead of asking myself, how can I use this as an opportunity for growth? I would resist. I would resist that opportunity for growth. And then I would just blame the outside world. So I don't know if you've heard of the internal versus external locus of control, but
no.
Okay, well, there's this like theory that internal locus of control is like taking responsibility over everything that's happening to you versus an external locus of control is blaming everything on the outside. So for example, with the intern scenario that I gave you, I used to blame the interns. Well, the interns suck. The interns don't know what they're doing. And really, I should have asked myself, how can I be better? How can I improve to serve my interns? Same thing happens with marketing agencies. Everyone's blaming their clients for sucking, and they're taking an external locus of control, when in reality, they should be asking themselves, how can I be better to serve my clients?
Yeah, I actually shared something on my stories like that last night. Like I was saying, like the biggest lies that people usually believe are the lies they tell themselves. Like it's never usually outside. It usually comes from inside.
100%, man.
Yeah. So one of your quotes that you say I actually really like. I've shared it a lot, by the way, and I've quoted you. You say it's kind of long, so people always give me a confused face when I say it. But SW, 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 and SW. It almost sounds like coordinates, like your like navigation, like southwest, southwest, north. But what can you explain what that means?
100%, man. And by the way, full disclosure, I got to give credit where credit is due. I think this was like a Jim Rohn quote at the very beginning. And then actually my sales guy, Omir, modified it. And then I asked him for permission to use it. And then now everyone thinks it's my quote. So I wish I could take responsibility over it, but I know we are live and we're being recorded right now. So I got to do business with integrity. That's one of my philosophies. Always do the right thing. So here I am doing the right thing. That being said, here's what it means. Some will, some won't. So what? Next, someone's waiting. And the vision behind this is that a lot of us get stuck on like the one sales opportunity. All of us get stuck on the thing that's right in front of us, and we have scarcity mindset around it instead of reframing it and having abundance mindset and understanding that, hey, if this person doesn't want to work with me, well, fuck them, because someone else is waiting for me. So what? Next, someone's waiting. If you don't want to interview me on your podcast, I know you do. It's like, I know someone else that will. And having that abundance is so important in this game of entrepreneurship. So that's what that means to me.
Yeah, it's easy to think small. There's always so much like opportunity out there.
What does it mean to you?
That's exactly what it means. Like we tend to procrastinate, and that's an excuse, and we beat ourselves down. And I feel like that quote is a great thing to kind of like tell yourself, like, there's people waiting for you out there, and there's opportunities waiting for you. You got to step up. So
and I think also, like, a lot of us will lose a sale or we'll lose one client and our whole entire world collapses. Like, I remember when I first started my agency and I had like 4 clients, I remember waking up one day and getting a text from my client, and she said she wanted to stop working with us. And it felt like the whole world just collapsed and the whole world ended. And this was way back at the beginning when we were just starting out. And I was in the scarcity mindset that this person's going to be the only one for us, when in reality, now we have over 170 clients in our agency, and we even have a waiting list of people waiting to work with us in some cities. So the key point there, especially at the beginning, when it can feel like there's so much on the line, and this one client or this one missed sale means the entire world to you, it's really important to maintain abundance and maintain this notion that, hey, if this doesn't work out, there's someone else out there. And it's actually going to make you way better at sales anyways, having that mindset, because then you're no longer attached to the sale. You're no longer attached to that person. And then you have what's called the frame. And I don't know if you guys have heard about the frame, but there's a famous book called Pitch Anything by, I think his name is Oren Clough. And he talks about, in order to really lead conversations with your friends, with your relationships and sales and business and pretty much anything, you need to own the frame. And really, it's being able to lead. And this idea that, man, I lost my train of thought for a second. What was I saying, dude?
the frame. You need to lead.
So I was talking about, what were you talking about, right? Oh, yes. The idea that if you're not attached to this one person, you're not attached to this one opportunity, then you have an abundance mindset around anything, and it allows you, it gives you space to own the frame at a much higher level.
Gotcha. All right. That was a good pickup. What's up, John? What's up, Kim Dang? Kim asked, what did you learn from Joel? Everything we're talking about, Kim. So stay tuned. Dude, you mentioned waiting list. So this is actually a personal question. Like, when you're in a scenario where your business has a waiting list, obviously that means a few things. Either, supply and demand, increase prices, or you hire more to scale up. Like, what are those, like, for you? Like, what does a waiting list mean for you? Like, how are you reacting to that, knowing that you have like more supply or more demand than supply?
It's a great question. In our specific scenario, it means that there's a client wanting to work with us in the same exact area that we already have a client in, and we have an exclusivity policy so that there's not 2 clients within 5 blocks of one another. So we essentially honor that. And I know it sucks, and I know that the appealing thing to do, the desirable thing to do, is just to get both clients in. But the right thing to do is just to have a waiting list and tell them, hey, we don't take 2 clients within a 10-mile radius of one another. Ways that
yourself kind of in your business model.
Yeah. And like the key there is to just be strategic and innovate and figure out ways to still monetize those opportunities. So something we're actually working on right now is a course that we can also sell to potential clients, so that if they are not able to work with us and they're on a waiting list, we can still sell them something with knowing that maybe later down the line, if that client leaves us, not only have they been consuming our content through the course, they've already been a customer, and then therefore they're going to want to work with us.
Yeah. I mean, so the 9 questions, like, I think that's actually question 9, like the top. How can you get better results for everyone and be customer focused like Amazon? And I think you mentioned stuff like that,
Yeah,
going
100%.
above and beyond. So actually, Kim Dang, I don't know if you know Kim. She asked who was your mentor, not or not. What did I learn from Joel? Who? No, who did you learn from? Gosh, so many words.
That's a great question. My game plan was I'm not going to start this entrepreneurship thing until I have a lot of money saved up, so that then I can go ahead and drain it on coaches and courses. So me and Marcos, my business partner, actually spent over 30 grand our first year in business. And dude, on a lot of people, it's like when people are like, oh, who did you learn from? I learned from a lot of people. I took a bunch of different courses and I took golden nuggets from, this program or that program. And actually, if you guys know J.R. Rivas, I know Daxie, you do, but he jokes that anytime he needs like a review on a program or on a course, he just asks me, and I've probably taken it. So
is that still the case, or?
At this point, we're investing much more into like building a team, building infrastructure, and then marketing for ourselves.
Investing into people.
My philosophy is first invest into yourself. So courses, coaching, really just leveling up as an individual. And, Jim Rohn talks about this all the time. If you want to be able to make more money, you need to be able to add more value. And the best way to add more value is to improve who you are as a human being. So the very first place you have to invest is in yourself. The second place is in sales and marketing. And the third place is into team, is into long-term infrastructure. That's when you can start investing into, passive income streams, other businesses, things like that.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions while we're on this live, drop them below. We'd love to give you guys some value. I have some questions here. I'm just going to jump around here. My partner, actually, Ryan, he wanted to ask pricing and quality control as you scale. Like, what are the biggest factors that dictate that?
They're both very different questions. Which one should I take on first? Quality control or price?
Quality control.
Okay, quality control. I actually thought about building my agency just like an assembly line. And if you actually walk into like Nike's factory where they make all the shoes, you actually see that there's one person working at one station all day long. That's all they do. They're focused on the lace, just on the lace every single day. That is all they do. Then they take the lace, they move it on to the next station, and that station focuses on the sole. That's all they do all day long. And then it gets passed on to another station, and then to another station, and then to another station. And then finally, there's quality control at the end. And I doubt many of you guys have been in a factory. I've actually gone into a factory to see the process because I was really interested. And I was like, what can I take from this and apply into my agency? So now for quality control at a scalable level, what we do is we essentially have VAs for every minute part of the process in terms of building out the campaign. And then we actually have someone that's in charge of quality control at the end that reviews everything. And then we have a second person after that reviews everything again. So it's pretty much divided into campaign launch. So someone builds out the campaign, then someone reviews the campaign. And not only do they review it, this is where they add any customized tweaks to the campaign based on the client requests. And then you have what's called campaign launch, which is that third and final review before it goes live. So one of the ways that we do quality control is by turning our business in our fulfillment process into an assembly line, just like Nike does it in their factories. So you start off with a shoelace, but at the end of the assembly line, you end up with a beautiful shoe ready to get shipped out.
Yeah. Okay. So pricing. So with pricing, I feel like pricing's fake a lot of times, and it's like the value you give it. It's just the offer you make and how you position it. How do you go about pricing as you scale? Like, what decides the prices you guys have?
Yeah, that's a great question. And then also, I'm going to say one more thing about the quality control. Yeah. Something that we took from the air industry, like the airline industry, is that, and I talked about this at the event, is that when you have checklists for everything, the actual completion rate of tasks is much higher, and the amount of details that gets lost is much lower. So we turned all of our systems into a checklist format where our team can just duplicate the duplicate the template with all the checklists for each new client. And then all they have to do is go through and check every single thing off for every new client, so that at the end, we know every single task was complete. And if there's any issue, we can just go back to the checklist and see what was missing. So it's a combination of turning our fulfillment into an assembly line with massive checklists for each new client.
Yeah, and setting your team members up for success, and accountability.
100%. So pricing.
Rom says you're the man, by the way. That's Rom.
Cool.
Raviv.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What's up,
pricing?
Rom? Yeah, pricing. What do you mean pricing as you scale? Like, how does your pricing change?
Yeah, how so I mean, you can explain how you've changed it. Do you look at competitors, or you just look at internal costs like margins, or?
Yeah, that's a great question. We definitely look at our P&L once a week. So we're definitely looking at like our profits every single week, but that doesn't determine the price too much. Here's how we do it. We essentially said to ourselves, we want it to be the McDonald's of marketing agencies, where every single client gets the exact same experience at the exact same price point. So the price hasn't really shifted even from the beginning. However, now that we have so many clients, and now that we're not looking to add hundreds of more clients, like we're happy where we're at, we're going to start increasing the prices. But up until that point, like where we still could take on more and more clients, we kept the price exactly as it was. Now, I will say, like, each business model is different. Your vision for your business will also dictate this answer. Like, if you're trying to only have 30 clients or 10 clients, well, guess what? Once you max that out, moving forward, you can charge more and you can raise your prices. But if you're trying to reach the level where you're at 200 clients, then you can keep the price the same as you scale. So
cool. Clint said, great stuff, guys. Thank you. Kim, software. I think Trello and Asana are the most popular ones for checklists. I use Trello.
I use Asana.
You use Asana, right? Cool. I'll ask your question next, Jordan. I wanted to ask, dude, because I think you're a great marketer too. I don't know if that's like your role in your business as well, if you do the marketing stuff, or if you're like high level on the marketing.
Dude, people now ask me what I do with my time. That's probably a good question to answer too. I should probably throw that out there.
I mean, like, so you're obviously a portion of it is on your personal brand. I can tell. I think it's cool how. So I want to ask, because I think it's related to people podcasting. Like, we want to grow in some sort of viral ways or kind of play the algorithms. And I see you use raffles a lot, like giving away AirPods or giving away stuff. Like, how has that worked for you? And what have you seen? Like, what would you recommend for people who want to do that?
Doing giveaways? Yo, I think I lost you. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Dude, it's worked amazing. I thought it was going to be like, oh, the quality of the people is going to go down. And I thought like, oh, like people are just going to want to be here for the AirPods. And that's partially true. And I've just kind of accepted that that's okay. I think I lost you again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it going in and out?
I think so.
Is it on my end? I can hear you.
How about now?
It's great.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Temple's also, Temple Naylor, right?
Of course, dude.
He's like, how can I get magnificent? Wait, are you talking about me or Joel? Wait, oops, let me hide that. You want to ask how he can get nice hair.
Real quick, huge shout out to Temple. So Temple is the man who's helping me launch my coaching program. And right now, I'm on a mission to take down every single guru on planet Earth that can't back up their statements with actual results, not only for themselves, but also for their students. This is my mission right now. And Temple is actually leading enrollment for the entire business. So
dude,
when you see us hit 7 figures, go look up Temple Naylor and you'll know why.
I'm happy you're working with him. I've known Temple, dude. He's a stud, dude. Since we were hanging out in Delray for Bob Manget's event, it was like last year. We were like with Rob Quinn and Andrew, and yeah, Temple's a stud, man.
Hey, dude.
Cool.
How do you not love that guy? You know.
What question were we at?
By the way, did you want to run through the 9, or should we just kind of free flow Q&A?
Yeah, I feel like we're just free flowing Q&A because people are liking this.
Sweet.
Appreciate you, bro. Much love. Gurus will be destroyed.
Dude, I'm gonna just say this
I feel like it's a good
publicly.
headline.
If your guru is not willing to open up their business bank account and their client list for their business that they're saying they can coach you on. So for example, if they say they can coach you on Amazon FBA, if they're not willing to pull up their Amazon FBA bank account, not their coaching bank account, their Amazon FBA bank account, and show you their actual numbers and profits, do not work with them. And I'm on a mission to make this like a must, like a thing that must happen whenever you hire someone. Like they need to be willing to show you their bank account for the business model that they're trying to coach you on. So for example, if anyone wants to work with me for agencies, I need to be willing to pull up my agency bank account, show them the numbers, show them the profits, and show them my client list. And if I'm not, then I'm a fraud. And that's why I am willing to do it. Yeah. So that's going to be the new standard. And I'm on a mission to make that happen.
You got to walk the talk.
100%, dude.
So Jordan asked, when someone is starting consulting agency building, how can one show? He says cloud. I think he meant clout. If they haven't marketed, I think one thing you said, I mean, you can iterate on it, is at the start, like, give away services for free, get testimonials, build up your results. But what would you say?
Yeah, I think a lot of beginners are like, oh, how can I get clients without giving my services away? Or how can I get clients without free trials? The harsh reality is that you haven't earned the right to get clients without free trials. And when me and Marcos, my business partner, first started out, we did a bunch of work for free. So what I would do if I were starting out all over again is I would go into some in-person networking events where you're live in the flesh. You can see the business owners. You don't have to cold call. You don't have to cold email. You show up. There's 30 business owners. If you go to bni.com, you could look up these events. They happen in every major city across the world, not just the US. So unless you live in the middle of nowhere, you've got no excuse. And what I would do is I would tell all those business owners that I want to work with 5 businesses 100% for free. And if you're interested, please come to me at the end of this event and we'll set up a meeting. And then what's going to happen is about 20 business owners are going to approach you. So now you get to essentially select out of those 20, which are the 5 you want to work with. And then what I would tell them is, hey, I'll do your marketing for free for 1 month in exchange for a written and video testimonial. And you have to cover the ad spend. So that's one approach. Or I would say, hey, I'm willing to work for you for free for 48 hours. I'll even put up the ad spend out of my own pocket. But then after the 48 hours, unless you cancel with me, the card will go through automatically. So you'll get the credit card in advance. You'll do what I like to call a 48-hour trial, which is, it's very aggressive. You're going to send them a lot of leads. You're going to spend like $200 on ads. And what's going to happen is they're going to get so many leads. They're going to be so excited, and they're most likely going to want to move forward. So even if 1 out of those 5 trials moves forward, you got yourself 1 client. But the key here is if you're just starting out, you got to find ways to get yourself in the door. And you can't assume that there's some magical carpet that's going to take you in the door without being willing to put yourself out there.
I think starting out these questions is a good starting point. So question 1. So we got 12 minutes here, so we'll try to jump through this and then we'll do some rapid fire. Pop. So question 1, 0 to 12K. The question I thought it was super powerful. Even if you're above 12K, actually, depending on what you're selling. But it's, am I getting closer to the sale? If yes, continue. If no, what do I need to do? Like your partner said, he asked himself that every 30 minutes.
Dude, Marcos just sent me a video. Let me see if I can pull it up, of him asking me this 2 years ago. So, by the way, guys, if you're tuning in live or just hearing us on the podcast, I have these 9 questions. It's a presentation that I did at my mastermind. It's 9 questions that got me to $250K a month. And the very first question was, am I getting closer to a sale? If yes, continue with that task. If not, stop what you're doing and make sure that you're focused on an income generating activity. And the reason why this question is so important is because when we're starting out, we have a very difficult time. We have a very hard time focusing on the things that are going to drive the bottom line. We have a very hard time focusing on the things that will drive the needle. And the reason for that is because it's easier to build a website. It's easier to focus on creating a logo than it is to show up to one of these networking events and put yourself out there and potentially fail on your, fall flat on your face and fail.
But it leads to the sale. It could.
Exactly. At the very beginning, again, we're talking about mindset. This thing is the thing holding you back, and it's telling you to focus on the things that are easier, that are not scary. It's telling you to focus on the things where it's guaranteed to succeed and there's no failure. However, those things are not going to get you closer to a sale. So you have to ignore the brain telling you to focus on your website instead of cold calling. You need to ignore your brain telling you to spend 3 hours designing your logo instead of putting all of your energy into going out and getting clients. And the best way to make that happen is to ask yourself every 30 minutes, am I getting closer to a sale? If the answer is yes, continue with what you're doing. If the answer is no, stop what you're doing and make sure that you redirect your focus towards something that's going to get you closer to a sale.
Yeah, that's so true, man. Yeah, we do things because they're easy and we're used to them, but you'll never get new results if you keep doing the stuff you keep doing. So,
100%. Yeah, let me see if I could pull up this video real quick. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on, let me turn off my AirPods because it's connected to my AirPods.
Those aren't AirPods, dude. There's a string.
No. Hold on. I got another pair right here.
Oh,
that's why. But they're not linking up to my computer. But check it out. I don't know if you can hear it.
These questions before he asked me a question. Is it getting us closer to a sale?
I got cut off, but pretty much.
You should post that on social, dude. That's good.
Yeah, I'm going to post it. It's like him 2 years ago. He's got a goatee, super awkward. I'm wearing like an Abercrombie button down.
That's a classic, dude. Nice. Clint, he does lead gen, Facebook lead gen. He was asking what niche you're in. Actually, that's actually question number 2. So I don't think we're gonna get through all 9. I mean, I don't know if there's like anything you could, if you have a resource anywhere for someone to download or something. Maybe you should make one. That's a good deal. So maybe you should create one. Just saying.
I'll give it all away.
2. How can you kill shiny object syndrome and focus on one niche and one service?
Yeah, that's a great question to continue asking yourself. Just to give you guys some golden nuggets and some technical value. Here's what I look for when selecting a niche. And at this point, I've coached more successful multi-6-figure and 7-figure agency owners than anyone else in the shortest amount of time. And I know which niches work and which niches don't work. And the reason why I know this is because I custom created a calculator called the Niche Calculator, which has questions that are weighted based on the worth of that question. I think you have access to that calculator, by the way.
Do I? I'm like, where is this?
You came to the event, so I shared it with everyone that came to the event. But
was it the course he shared out or something, or
it was in the group chat. I sent it a little later on.
Ooh, I muted that because there's a lot of chat. I'm gonna go back into it. I'm gonna message you. Okay.
All right, cool. But essentially, this niche calculator can help you determine which niches are the best and which ones are the worst. And the biggest things that I look for, the most valuable things. So number 1, the foundation is you need to be able to get results in that niche. If you can't get results, go find another niche. That's kind of a given. Besides that, the most important variable is number 1, there needs to be more than 50,000 businesses in that niche. And the reason for that is because you're going to have a really hard time scaling up and hitting 7 figures unless there's enough volume of people to go after. And if you're stuck in a niche like med spas, which for some reason everyone seems to be going after, if you look up on Google how many med spas there are, there's only like 4,000. So if you think about it, like having 100 clients out of 4,000, you own such a huge share of the market, which is very, very difficult. Whereas if you go after like auto mechanics and there's like 200,000 of them, well, having 100 clients is a very small percentage of the market share. So that's the very first thing I look for. How big is the niche? The second thing I look for is, can I find the decision makers' emails and phone numbers? And can I scrape them? If I can't scrape them and if I can't find them, it's going to be really hard to actually reach the business owner. So for example, if you're going after gyms, most gym owners are going to be checking the email that's on the website. So that would qualify. But if you're going after these huge corporations, for example, or let's think of some other ones like auto dealerships where there's 50 employees per dealership, you might not have scraped the decision maker's email. And then the person that you get on the phone with when it comes down to the sale is not the decision maker. So that's the second thing that I look for. And then the last thing that I look for, let me actually pull it up. I could just show it to you. Well, I can't show it to you guys, but
you can stream share if you want.
No, not going to do that. Yeah, to keep it super simple, just because I don't want to waste time on this, make sure you can get them results. Make sure there's over 50,000 people, and make sure you can reach the decision maker, and you're going to be way better off than whatever most other gurus are telling you to do. So
cool, awesome.
I didn't really answer the question, but I wanted to drop some technical
that was
value.
a good answer. You answered it, dude. Most people won't even get close to that. This is from Credit Ninja, by the way. I need to connect with Joel. You know Credit Ninja?
Credit Ninja? I think so.
I know she does some stuff with Jeff. I think they're working on something. She's the mom. So cool.
Jeff Seckinger? Or Jeff
Seckinger. Jeff
nice.
Seckinger. Man, these questions are so good. We could do a whole episode on one question, man. I definitely want to know though, like, what are you currently obsessed with? Like, what right now is like something that you found that's working good as far as a business strategy? Whether it's like the personal brand stuff, is it the agency stuff? Like, what are you obsessed with?
Ooh, that's a great question. That's probably one of the best questions someone's asked me, because everyone asks the same. That's a really good question. I'm
trying to get the secrets, man.
I know. All right, I'm gonna give it all away because I'm a huge believer in over delivering. I'm a huge believer in throwing it all out there, really pulling back the curtains. Two things that are working extremely well is strategic partnerships. Number one. Yeah. So for example, I just partnered.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, just for like the rest of life, man. That'll always work. But even more with the internet, yeah.
Dude, it's like crazy because if you find someone that already has an audience with all of your ideal clients and you're able to partner up with them, then they can instantly put you in front of everyone you want to be in front of. So, for example, let's say you're doing podcast launches, right? And it's like, if you go and find some person that's also teaching people about podcasts, maybe a different area of podcasts, and then you partner with them and then they put you in front of their entire audience, it's a no-brainer. So how I'm applying that is right now we just partnered with a chiropractor influencer, and we have a strategic relationship going where he's going to be representing Atlas Digital, my agency, and obviously we're going to financially compensate him for that. But right now, strategic relationships, really pushing the Dream 100. That's something that I'm going to be diving into over the next year. And then number two, as soon as you have money, spend it on paid ads. Like, paid ads is the fastest and most effective way to get in front of your ideal customers without you having to do any manual work. So paid ads, you have to do it sooner rather than later. And if you're telling your clients to spend $500 on paid ads, and you're not willing to spend $500 a month on paid ads, then they maybe shouldn't be hiring you. So
cool.
Spend
awesome.
$500 on paid ads a month.
Man, I feel like if I ask you this question, it'll go down a rabbit hole.
I think you're the one that's you have another call, right?
Yeah, but I mean, so it's a client call, but Ryan's gonna be on there, so I can hop on a minute late. But cool, we'll just wrap up there. We'll probably do part 2 in the future when Joel's helping people to 8 figures. And we'll talk about what the next 9 questions are. And dude, I appreciate you being on here. Is there anything you want to share with people? Anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, man. The best place to find me, if you're watching this live and you like some of the value that I share way more on Instagram. It's @official Joel Kaplan. You can check out my Facebook group. It's called Marketing Agency Secrets. I'm not going to pitch anything hard, Dexy, don't worry. But
no, you could if you want, man. You deserve it. So
it's all good. If you want to learn more about how to start an agency or how to scale an agency to 7 figures, definitely make sure to follow me on Instagram and check out my stories. I think you're going to be blown away by the results. It's kind of overwhelming. So
yeah. Cool, man. Well, guys, thanks for listening. Give #value. Thank Joel in the comments below. And yeah, I'm going to end the broadcast. Peace out, guys.
Sweet. Peace out.